Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about PHP. And then PHP is nothing but hypertext preprocessor. It is widely used open source general purpose scripting language software. This is suitable for web development. Okay. And then we discuss in the introduction means it is a server side scripting language. This is the open source software. It's free to download and use. Everyone can use in a free software. Okay, and then PHP scripts are executed on the server side. And then here I mention so many databases like MySQL, Informix, Oracle Sybase. Okay, these are the examples of PHP supporting software. And then here I mention just an example of PHP program. How can we represent the PHP program? Okay, first we have to give the HTML tag and then header tag. So header tag is not necessary. This is only for identify the program. Okay, so then we start body. Every content we have to give between the body tag. So each tag it must have the open and close tag. Okay, and then scripting language must have the opening tag and closing tag. The tag is nothing but a combinations of angle bracket. Okay, so like less than, greater than symbol, this is the angle bracket. And then angle bracket, question mark, PHP, and then whatever we need to print, just give between the echo double quotation. Okay, and every statement must end with the semicolon. Is already we discussed in the C programming. Okay, and then in last we have to give close tag, close HTML tag. Okay, and then PHP, the basic concepts are already we discussed. Every statement end with the semicolon. Code bracket is like a brace bracket. Okay, like braces, and then we must follow the white spaces, because white spaces have some value, so better we avoid white spaces in the program. And then we have two types of commands. Already we studied in C programming, single line codes, double line codes. Okay, and then multi-line codes. So single line codes specified by double slash, and then multi-line block code is between the slash asterisk symbol. Okay, and end with the asterisk symbol and then slash. Okay, and then variable declaration. Variable declaration, in case we are declaring variable in C and C++, we must give the data types, but here no need to give data types. Okay, and then the same as in C, equal operator is used for assigning the values. Okay, so like A is a variable name. In dollar we have to give dollar symbol prefix of a variable, and what are the values? Here I am giving the values PHP, so between the double quotation. Okay, and then variable names must have the we must specify the small a, capital A, because it is a case sensitive. Okay, and then data types. Here I am mentioning so many data types like string, integer, float, bool, and then boolean data types, array, objects, and then null, and resources. Resources, why we are using resources means it is called the external resources. Okay, and then next we are going to discuss about PHP operators. PHP operators is used for the calculation purpose. Already we know we have so many operators available. Here I am mentioning few operators: arithmetic, assignment, and comparison operator, logical operator. Next we move on the conditional statements. PHP conditional statements like if else, if and then switch statements. Okay, so why we are using if statements means if executing some code only if a specified condition is true. Okay, so not in the if else, the statement is executed true, the if statement will be executed, otherwise the else statement will be executed, like the false statement will be executed. And the next one is the if else statements used to select one or several block of code to be executed. Okay, and then switch statements is one of the best conditional statements in PHP. Select one of many blocks of code to be executed. Okay, next we move on the PHP arrays. PHP arrays already we know the arrays is a collection of elements, okay, similar elements. An array variable is a storage area holding a number or text, and then the problem is a variable will hold only one variable. So each cell must have the only one value. Array is starting from the 0 to start from the 0. Okay, and then array is special variable which can store the multiple values in one single variable. Okay, and then arrays, we have three types of arrays, and the numerical array, associate array, multi-dimensional array. Numerical array is nothing but they store only the numerical indexes. An associated array is nothing but we follow the id key is associated with the particular value. And then multi-dimensional array is nothing but containing the one or more arrays. Okay, in later we will discuss detailed about arrays. Okay, and then now PHP loops means while, do while, for and for each. Where we are using while means first we check the condition is true means next we move on the statement, but not in the do while. At least one time we execute the blocks, then check the condition is true means we move to the block, otherwise we end the statement. Okay, and then for statements, for loop is through the block of code to specify number of times. And then for each is another the for is not in the C and C++, so this is available in the PHP. Why we are using for each means the each block of code for each elements in the array, we have to check the each block code used by the for each statement. Okay, and then here I am giving some examples for do while conditions. So declaration is the $I equal to 1. So for do, first increment, then at least one time we execute the block. Okay, after we check the condition here I am mentioning the condition is I less than equal to 5. This condition is true means the loop will be executed, otherwise it's come to the end of the statement. Okay, and then for loop as I equal to 1, this is only for the increment. Next I less than 5 means this is the conditional checking, and then I plus plus is the increment statement. This condition is true, this is called the entry statement. This condition is true means the block will be executed, otherwise the block will be end. Okay, thank you all.